Having run my own large veterinary hospital, I understand the challenges and the way we need to keep the costs under control in veterinary medicine in order to be able to deliver the service for our clients and their pets. So we set out to develop a 1.5 system at the lowest cost possible that was consistent with high quality images. The first thing we did was went out and talked to a huge number of specialists, radiologists, neurologists, surgeons to find out what they needed and what the requirements were for getting good images in that market. What became clear to us from talking to vets in the market is that the three things they identified, the high quality images, the low cost, and the simple use of the system, were the three things we had to work out how to achieve. So dealing with the high quality first, what we've done with that is we've gone to use a 1.5 Tesla FDA approved human magnet. That's the core of our system. So a really high quality, new state-of-the-art MRI itself. And in addition to that, we've added specially designed veterinary coils. And much of the quality of an image comes from the coil and the anatomy of the coil fitting the anatomy of the animal you're imaging. And so that's made a big step forward in terms of image quality for us. As regards the cost of the system and how can we control that, we've done two key things for that. The first is that, as you know, an MRI needs to sit in an RF shielded room, and they're expensive to build and they're complex, and once you've built them you can never move them again. So what we did is we've actually designed the RF shield on the magnet itself, and that saves a very significant amount off your installation costs, which is part of the total cost of running the system. In addition to that, we've gone for a system that does not need any helium refills, and helium is both expensive and increasingly hard to source, so we felt strategically that was important, and the PetVet system does not need any routine helium fills once it's been installed. The third part was the simplicity of the system, and there we can draw on the experience we've had for 10 years with our equine system, and we have repurposed and improved and in fact simplified the interface for that software to make it easy to use, but while retaining the ability for individual radiologists to tweak and adjust settings as they might choose. We recognise that veterinarians who want to install an MRI have choices. They might choose to go and buy a human high field system from one of the main manufacturers, but those systems aren't designed for the veterinary industry and they're a lot more expensive than a PetVet system. An alternative is that you might look at buying a reconditioned system out of a hospital, out of a human hospital that is. And once again, they're not designed for the veterinary industry, but additional to that, they require RF shielding, and the PetVet system already has its RF shielding built into it. And there are other features like they need helium refills, and the PetVet system has a zero boil-off head, so needs no routine helium refills. And also with our software and our two-coil system, we can actually run two coils simultaneously, and particularly for deep-chested dogs, a different anatomy from a human system therefore, but for deep-chested dogs, you can get much better signals running our two-coil system, and you can't find those on the refurb systems. When thinking about the running costs for an MRI, it's important to think not only about the routine maintenance costs, but also the costs of replacement helium, which the PetVet system doesn't need any routine helium refills, and also the cost of upgrades, often a hidden cost. And Hallmarq's unusual in that all our systems upgrades are included in our maintenance cost. So we keep all our systems at the same specification, independent of when they were built and when they were installed. And it's interesting if you then look at the total cost of ownership and compare the PetVet system against the refurbished and the new system, you might be surprised to find that the brand new PetVet system actually works out as being less expensive than any of its competitors. So what we've achieved at Hallmarq with the development of this PetVet MRI system is to enable you in practice to have really high quality images so you can give excellent clinical service to your customers. But also we've got a system that, because of the cost control, at a relatively low number of cases per week, you can actually have a profit centre for your business.